Guys, how's it going? Carl here from North Coast Constrictors. Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see today, I have my female lavender albino 100% het genetic stripe female out. She just shed last night and I haven't been able to take her out her enclosure for about 2 weeks. And I thought today is the day I'll make another video on this beautiful reticulated python. So for those of you who haven't seen her for a while, I'll give you a bit of an update. This girl is about, I would say, 3 years old now. Maybe 2.5, 3 years old. I would say closer to 3. Okay, it's difficult to, I haven't measured her or anything like that. Okay, but she's a fair sized girl. She's putting on some size. Okay, and she has got amazing colorings, and not only that, she's an incredible snake. She's got an incredible personality. And if I could just get her to come around here so that I can get her head. She's just got one of the most insane heads. That orange, it'll come up in a minute, there we go. That beautiful, insanely bright colored orange head. As you can see, with my retic, all my retics, they're not head shy. I can quite easily put my hand over her face, cover her face, and she doesn't get angry and she doesn't get defensive. And that's because from day one, since I've had her, I have very gently let her tunnel her way through my hands. And how you do that is, you know what, when you're holding them, like what I do is I'll like let them crawl over. I'm not going to cooperate now, of course, while we're on camera, but I let them feed through my hands while I'm handling them when they're younger and they're smaller. And then what I do is I ever so slightly just close my hand over her head. Not squeeze it, but kind of make a tunnel, just so that they get used to it. And it's not because I'm trying to prove a point on whatever, it's just that I don't want her head shy. Snakes will normally bite you when they're head shy, and it's obviously they're very protective over their heads. You can see how nice and chilled this girl is. She's got some beautiful, long, slow tongue flicks. She hasn't been out of her enclosure in a while. I'm nice and warm. She's just shed out. So she's inquisitive. She's all over the place. She wants to see what's going on. I really want to breed this girl next year. I've made a decision. I mean, I was going to wait until 2024 to breed her. I may still wait until 2024 to breed her, but I reckon in a year's time she's going to be absolutely breeding ready. She's going to be 4.5 years, and she will be at least 10 feet long, if not a foot longer. And I'm going to be pairing her to a motley purple albino het titanium, which is a citron. He's a male that's up there. If he's up to size. He's still a yearling. I have done a video on him before. And now guys, at the risk of sounding repetitive, some of you are obviously watching my channel for the very first time. I'm a ball python and retic breeder in South Africa, in a town called Ballito. It was on the northeast coast of South Africa. The main collection of snakes are ball pythons. All of these racks here are ball pythons. I only have 4 retics. This is the biggest girl. I only went into retics this year. This is my second year breeding ball pythons though, and I have about 120 of them. And I bred last year my first season with a very small collection, and I have now this year a lot of ball pythons that have reached sexual maturity and size that I bought as yearlings. And then I've got like yearlings as well that'll only reach sexual maturity and size and weight next year in 2023. So out of the 120 odd ball pythons that I've got here, there's about 40 females that are breeding ready. Some of them are adult proven breeders. Some of them are females from last year. Some of them are females that I acquired last year and are ready to breed this year. And then some I bought specifically as adults to breed this year. So we've got a combination. But I've done quite a lot of videos on ball pythons, so I wanted to do this video on this beautiful girl here. She is just an absolute sweetheart. I know that these reticulated pythons, okay, from those guys that watch and know about snakes, these are the longest snakes in the world by length. The biggest snake in the world. There's two ways to categorize the size of a snake when you want to talk about biggest. You get the longest and you get the heaviest by mass. The longest snake in the world, the one that grows the longest, is this snake here, a mainland reticulated python. You get dwarf reticulated pythons, which do not get as long as a mainland reticulated python. And it's all to do with that particular area, that island that they are from. Okay, so dwarf reticulated pythons do not get as long as mainland retics. Mainland retics are easily get up to 20 feet without batting an eyelid. 25 feet they are definitely out there, and 27 feet is the longest that I know of in captivity. I have heard about the 30-foot ball pythons, but I've never seen one. Sorry, reticulated pythons, I've never seen one. But generally between the 15 and 20 foot mark is what your retics get to, is a decent size in captivity. And over 20 feet, sure, I've seen quite a few that are around about the 23 feet mark. Depends on how often you feed them, how big the prey size is that you feed them, and that's how they'll grow. You know, they are opportunistic hunters. They are ambush hunters out in the wild. It will take them way longer to get to a big size like 15, 18, 20 feet. Probably double the time it would take than as if it were in captivity, because they've got a regular source of food being in captivity. If you are a retic breeder, you are making sure that your snake is getting food all the time, so they will grow. They never have to go out there and wait weeks, months to get a meal, which is sometimes the case. So a snake in captivity will grow a lot faster than a snake out in the wild. So general rule of thumb when you're breeding retics is the female about 4 or 5 years old and nothing under 10 feet. Males at about 18 months old, maybe a bit older, 18 months to 2 years, and around about the 7 foot mark, 8 foot mark is a good size to breed up a male. Putting two retics together that are the same size, like you take a male 18 foot and a female 18 foot, for sure you can breed them, okay? But you must understand that retics can be very aggressive. They can fight. Males and females can fight. And if you put, generally you want to pair up a male that is smaller than the female, and then, you know, that's, if something goes wrong, it's a lot easier to separate them. I mean, you're going to probably need about 4 people. If you've got 2 fully grown retics in a tank in an enclosure going at each other, 2 15 foot, 18 foot, 20 foot retics that are getting into a massive fight and tearing each other up and biting each other and whatever, it's probably going to take 4 grown people to separate that. One on the head of each snake, one on the tail of each snake, and it's gonna take probably 4 people to get those snakes apart. So anyway, that's beside the point. This girl here, her name is Honey. She's got a possibility of 2 males to breed with. One is just a motley poshet albino, but I say poshet, but I'm convinced he's an albino. So if I pair him to her, I'll get motley albinos. She's also 100% hit for genetic stripe, but I don't have any genetic stripe in my retic collection. So if I had to get myself a visual male genetic stripe, or a male, a lavender 100% hit genetic stripe, or a male visual lavender albino or purple albino genetic stripe, and pair it with this female, then I'll have a very good chance of getting visual genetic stripes, albino genetic stripes. But I am going the motley purple albino route with this snake. That's going to be probably her first pairing, and it'll more than likely be next year. And we'll see how the retic project goes. They are very difficult snakes to keep in large quantities. If you know, the guys in America that are breeding them, they've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. Jay Brewer, I don't even know how many he's got. They've got the facility and they've got the market to sell and to produce and sell that quantity of snakes. In South Africa, no. We're a small country, South Africa, and not a lot of people can keep retics. Very select market. I'm certainly never going to be a big scale retic breeder. I will do it simply for the love of retics. And what I will do is I've got two females. The other one is a purple albino, a motley purple albino hit titanium, same as the male that I've got, a motley purple albino hit titanium. When she's up to size, they'll pair together to obviously, I want to prove out the titanium. Okay, but she'll be ready to breed before that the female. So, and what I'll do is only breed 1 pairing a year. I will not breed 2 females a year. I've only got the 4 snakes. The motley visual male that I've got there, you've seen him on some of my videos. I may buy a female for him that will suit him. I will try possibly and find something that will complement the motley gene, because he's poshet albino. I might try and find something with some more dominant genes in, like tiger or sunfire and whatnot, to add into that, and with albino, because he's het albino, so we can get a couple more genes into that snake. And then what I'll do is I'll breed 1 female a year, and then the next year she'll be off, and then the following year another female, and then the next year off, because I don't have the space to keep, when a fully grown retic, when they're laying eggs, you can get easily 50 eggs. Now you've got 50 hatchlings, and you've got to sell those hatchlings, and that's just 1 snake. Imagine if you've got 10. So anyway, guys, quick video on this beautiful motley, this beautiful lavender albino retic. Her name is Honey. I needed to get her out. I needed to stretch her, work her, exercise her, socialize her. It's very, very important when you've got big snakes like this, and she's by no means a big snake yet. Not a chance, not even close to it, not even halfway yet to getting to her full potential. Okay, she is most certainly still small when it comes to retics, so she's got a long way to go. I wanted to get her out and hold her. I'm gonna give her about 2 days, 3 days. If I look on the side of her enclosure here, she ate 2 and a bit weeks ago. That was her last meal, 2 and a bit weeks ago. It wasn't a very big meal at all. In fact, I gave it to her because it was a leftover from another snake, and I just didn't want the rat to go to waste. So because she's like my garbage bin, but she will get, and I want to hold her a couple times. I love to interact with my retics. I love to hold my retics. They are more like pets. This is, as I say, it's not really a business for me, the retics. I love to hold them and interact with them and spend time with them. I love the fact that they are so active. I'm just making this video now, but I'll take her out around the house. I'll sit on the couch with her. I'll take her outside. I'll let her get some fresh air and stretch out her body to its full. You know, she's got a big enclosure, don't get me wrong, and it's beautifully decorated and she's got everything she needs. But, you know, in order to keep her tame and social and whatnot, you absolutely imperative have to handle, got to hold her, got to let her know that you are somebody that can be trusted and you are not going to hurt her. She's under no threat at all, and then you can enjoy the snake, you know. You can enjoy having a huge big constrictor, and it also builds my confidence up. You know, I don't know that if I would go and buy a fully grown proven breeder female that's 18-20 feet long that I don't know, you know. I mean, unless I bought it from a friend of mine that has hand reared it from a hatchling, and I know the snake is 100%. But you know, this girl I've known from a baby, and I know her signs, I know her signals, I know her when to go near her, when not to go near her. I know when she's hungry, I know when she's keen to be held, and fortunately for me, she's a snake that actually loves to be held. She's never she's never tried to bite me. She has, when I've come in with food, and this is the thing about retics, they're very visual. It's not just about scent. A retic, and I've said this before in my videos, are in the top 2 most intelligent snakes in the world. A retic and a king cobra are the most intelligent snakes in the world, and a retic can actually recognize its owner and handler, or many people, by face. So when she sees me come into the room, she knows me. And when I pull her out and I take her out of her enclosure, she knows my smell. And that's why she's so calm. But if a stranger had to walk in, I've seen people walk into my snake room, and she comes up to the front of the tank and her eyes just follow every movement, everywhere that person goes. She doesn't know. She's analyzing and sussing that person out and checking them out. When I walk in, she gives me a little bit of a look. If she knows I'm not going to pull her out, she kind of, you know, rolls up again, coils up into, you know, her resting position, and she lets me get on with my business. But the moment I slide that glass open, she knows it's either dinner time or it's handling time. So what I was saying is, the one time I came in with food and she saw the rat, and you know, it was a natural instinct. She just came straight for the rat. But the glass enclosure, it's a wood enclosure with a glass door. It was closed, so she hit the glass. Fortunately, she didn't break the glass, okay? So that was purely a feeding instinct, and she didn't even smell the rat. She just saw it because I was walking in, and whenever I feed my retics and my big boas, I use this here. I never ever feed with my hand. I grab the rat and I offer it in at a nice, safe distance, so that if she misses, I don't become, or my hand or my arm doesn't become the food. Okay, so I want to hold her for about 2 days. I'm going to work her today, I'm going to work her tomorrow. And then I think on Sunday night, because today is Friday, on Sunday night I'm going to offer her a nice big rat. Anyway guys, from me and my girl Honey over here, who you can see is an absolute sweetheart, probably my favorite, one of my favorites. I know you're not supposed to have favorites. I know I pull out other snakes and say they're my favorites. They're all my favorites. But each snake is special in their own way. What a rewarding experience, guys, if you've got a retic that is like this and is so docile. My son, who's 9 years old, can come in. He'll be able to walk in this room here and he'll be able to pick her up. He'll be able to take her from me and she'll be cruising around. That's the one thing about retics, guys. They're never going to stand. They're never going to sit still. That you can see they're all over the place. So I make my whole body like a jungle gym for her. Got my arms up. I give her a place to move. Constantly moving her around. I try not to hold her in one place. I try to spread her weight out evenly. It's not good to have all the pressure hanging off the snake, you know, especially a big snake. You don't want to grab them by the neck basically and hold them vertically. It's not good for the snake. It's not good for their spine. It's not good for their bone structure. It's not good for their organs. You know, you want to give them as much platform to rest on as possible. Anyway, so guys, that's it from me. I'm going to take her outside now. I'm going to let her get some fresh air. I'm going to let her get some sun. And then I'm going to put her back in her enclosure. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you love retics and if you love snake content, if you like ball pythons, I've got loads of content coming up. It's the weekend. It's time to make videos. I've had a pretty hectic, busy week at work. I'm busy pairing up my ball pythons. I've already done my pairings for the weekend. I might talk about that later. I might do a video on ball pythons. Oh, careful, girl. The ones that I haven't paired up, I'm going to pull out and I'm going to do some videos on some of the females that I haven't paired up. And the only reason why I haven't paired up any of those females are because all of the males that are pairing up with those females, I've got about 5 powerhouse males that all went into the blue literally 2 to 3 days ago. So there's no pairing this week for me. Maybe, hopefully, by the time next weekend rolls around, those males have shed out. If not, then the following weekend. I pair only on weekends. Fridays and Saturday nights, maybe a Sunday night, depends. So guys, as I said, if you like constrictors and retics and ball pythons, and I've got Dumeral's bows as well, and you're a new breeder or a semi-new breeder and you like this kind of content, please hit like and subscribe. I try and keep the channel fresh. I try and do new stuff. It's difficult to find new content all the time, not unless I get out there and maybe go and do a few videos with some other breeders at their facilities and stuff like that. But geez, having a full-time job like I've got, and then having to come home into my own snake room, and I spend hours in the snake room cleaning, changing water, doing all the things that you snake breeders know only too well, what it takes to keep and maintain snakes, especially if you've got quite a large collection. And I do not have a large collection by any means, but at the same time, I don't have staff. I don't have guys to do this for me. I've got to do everything by myself. So guys, with that being said, it's over and out from me, and we'll catch you on the next video. Have a great weekend. Cheers. From Cole, North Coast Constrictors, Belito, South Africa. Hit that like and subscribe button.